Your to-do list is stressing you out, but here's the plot twist. It's not actually because you have too much to do. It's because of how you set it up. Most of the high achievers I work with don't actually have a productivity problem. They have a setup problem, a systems problem, if you will. And today I'm breaking down the 3 most common mistakes that turn helpful tools into a source of daily anxiety with some examples of how I do this in Notion. If you've ever stared at your task list, felt paralyzed, and then sat there going, okay, I don't even know where to start, this one's for you. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. I'm Ellen, a burnout coach and Notion system strategist, and this channel is where your nervous system meets your Notion system. Let's make your systems feel safe again. Here's what most people don't realize. Your to-do list is not broken. That's often the thing that we blame, but the fact of the matter is how you set your to-do list up is usually a problem. When your to-do list becomes overwhelming, it's not because you're lazy or disorganized. It's not even necessarily because of your neurodivergent brain, which is something I feel like we blame way too much. Sure, that might be the culprit, but it's just because you haven't learned how to work with it yet. What I find for most of us, it's because we're missing 3 key pieces of structure that help your to-do list to work for you instead of against you. And the beauty of it is it's adaptable. Think about if you open your email inbox right now and every single email you have ever received was literally sitting there, unorganized, marked as unread. Like, you would lose your mind, right? I know I certainly would. But frankly, that is what most people are doing with their to-do list. And then we wonder why we feel paralyzed by it. So today I'm walking through the 3 setup mistakes I see the most, one of which literally just came up in my Skool community the other day. Link down below if you want to join us. But more importantly, how to fix them so your to-do list feels like a tool for clarity, not chaos. Let's get into it. Number 1, treating your to-do list like a scorecard. Here's the problem. You are treating your to-do list like it's a measure of your self-worth. And this is not the first time I've talked about this on the podcast. It might be the first time on the YouTube channel, but it's not the first time I've talked about this. I haven't talked about it in a long time, but we're fixing that right now. So many of us, when tasks don't get checked off, we feel like a failure. When we complete everything, we feel successful. And I get that mentality. I really do. I think it's a form of external validation, but the fact of the matter is your to-do list isn't the end-all be-all of whether or not you had a productive day. It is not a tool for judgment. It is an organizational tool, and we need to bring it back to that. You might have heard people say before that your inbox is a convenient organizing place for other people's priorities. Your to-do list is actually the same way. Your to-do list is a convenient collection place for the potential ways you could be spending your time. It's not some end-all be-all. It's a menu of options, a buffet, if you will. And I think this really, really matters, particularly for entrepreneurs. Because when you're an entrepreneur, you have massive autonomy over what actually has to get done when. If something has to get done today versus next week. Client deliverables aside, most things don't have hard deadlines. I like to be consistent with my podcast, with my YouTube video drops. But the fact of the matter is, if I didn't release this podcast today, the world would not end. My business would not end. So when we shift our mindset around our to-do list from scorecard to menu, I think it removes a lot of that guilt, a lot of that judgment that we can sometimes feel. It helps us realize that you're not failing when tasks roll over because you have an expectation that they will roll over. I never expect to finish my to-do list, and I think that's a really, really powerful mindset to have. You're choosing day in and day out how to spend your finite energy instead of constantly judging how you're spending it. So I think the shift here is not so much, did I get everything done? It's what are the most valuable ways I could spend my time today, and doing your damnedest to do that. So that is mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, you are using your master to-do list as a daily reference. If you are looking at every single to-do, every single task you've ever captured all at once, that is a recipe for disaster. Jump back to that email analogy I used just a second ago. If there's no separation between today, this week, someday, or maybe never, every task looks equally urgent. And the result, especially if you're neurodivergent, is decision paralysis and constant anxiety. Imagine trying to cook dinner while staring at your entire pantry inventory, your grocery receipts from last year, and a running list of every meal you've ever even thought about making, maybe even every Pinterest recipe that you've ever saved into your Pinterest recipe tracker. chaotic, right? You can't even find tonight's ingredients because they are buried. That's what happens when you don't filter your view. And for those of you watching on YouTube, I'm going to show you exactly what this looks like. For you, those of you on the podcast, I'm going to talk you through what this looks like, because this is where I think Notion becomes your best friend. Again, Notion is my favorite productivity app. If you're new here and you've never heard me talk about it before, if you stay, you're going to hear me talk about it all the time, and I won't apologize for it. Because the fact of the matter is you need different views. In my productivity hub inside of Notion, I have places where I can see all of the tasks for this week or just see the tasks that are due today. I have various different views, but even then I take it a step further, because when I see the stuff that I have for today, I have views that only show me the things that are my absolute top priorities. I have views where I can go in and prioritize the different things that I could be doing, as well as views for things like which tasks are blocked, which tasks have I completed, to give myself a little pat on the back. What have I spent time on today? So on and so forth. Fact of the matter is you need different views to show you and to show your brain what's relevant right now. And it's up to you what you deem to be relevant right now, but we need to have a view that allows you to make that decision, ideally to automate making that decision. Like when we operate off of a view that not only shows you today's tasks, but even further can show you the highest priority tasks of the day, suddenly your brain isn't drowning in decision fatigue anymore. You know exactly what needs your attention right now, and everything else, it's still there, organized and waiting. But importantly, it's not screaming at you. So that is mistake number 2, is you are looking at all of your tasks simultaneously and you're overwhelming yourself in the process. For my YouTube people, what I will usually do is I will go into my prioritize menu and I will drag around and prioritize, as you might guess, the things that are the most important things for me to get done. But you'll notice this main priority column always stays super lean. I don't ever want to have a ton of stuff in that, because that's really what I'm staring at day in and day out. And I don't want decision fatigue or overwhelm to kick in and keep me from actually being productive. So I keep that main priority view super, super lean. Now that brings me though to mistake number 3, because you can have the right mindset about your to-do list. You can have the right filtered views in your to-do list, but if you're putting projects on your to-do list instead of tasks, that is another recipe for disaster. What I find a lot of people do is they will write really vague entries in their to-do list, things like update content calendar or follow up or review doc. And then every time they look at it, you have to figure out what that to-do list and that task actually means. There's no clarity on what the next physical action is, so you just stare at it and you procrastinate. The fix then is to write the next physical action. I always say with something like this is if you can't clearly identify what needs to be done, hell, maybe even where you left off at with a task, you're not being specific enough. I think it's always better to err on the side of more specific as opposed to less, even if it makes your to-do list names super long. So never write a project name on your to-do list. Write the specific next action with a clear outcome. So what is the very next physical action that I need to take, and how do I know it's completed? Update content calendar might become assigned podcast topics to weeks 1 through 12 in my content calendar. Maybe it becomes schedule blog articles for November to December. This will actually be a fun exercise to look into my to-do list and see if I actually feel very, very clear. So I do my weekly check-in in Skool. That's actually completed. Plan my YouTube videos for tutoring. I think I've already done this, but I'll double check on it. Batch record the next 4 YouTube videos for my main channel. Add all templates from Systems Vault to the shop. I'm actually super clear on what all of those are. No guarantees that I'm always that clear, but I know exactly what all of those tasks are, so that's concrete enough for me. So you can kind of see the difference. The second version that I gave you a second ago tells you exactly what to do. There's no thinking required. You can just see the to-do, be like, cool, got it, and take action. And I do recommend adding some sort of due date. Again, even if you're an entrepreneur, add a due date for approximately when you would like to work on that thing. This way, you're not managing an entire list, you're managing your time. And again, I don't think of those due dates as being concrete. They just give me a ballpark of what I'm aiming for roughly for my timeline of completing that thing. So let's bring this all together, okay? We talked first and foremost about our mindset. So your first fix is to change your mindset. Your to-do list is a menu, not a scorecard. Completion of acts on the to-do list does not define your worth. So let's stop letting it. Fix number 2, you're looking at too many tasks at once. So use filtered views to create focus. Operate off of a today view that shows you only the relevant information you need to know right now. And fix number 3, specific next actions, not project names on your to-do list. Make it immediately clear what you need to do. Otherwise, you are literally setting yourself up for procrastination. Your to-do list, frankly, isn't the enemy. And I think we villainize it a lot. We do have a lot of shit to do. We do, but it's kind of not our to-do list's fault if it isn't as effective as it could be. It's perhaps the way you've set it up, or if we're talking that first mistake, the way you're thinking about it. If we fix these 3 mistakes, promise you're going to watch your productivity and frankly, your sanity improve a ton. If you're thinking, okay, this makes sense, but I need help actually building this out in Notion, or I love this and I want more stuff like this. I mean, obviously I'm going to show up here on YouTube, on the podcast week in and week out, but I also run a free community on Skool. We actually have only been on Skool for 2 weeks and we just broke 100 members, which is nuts to think about. It's a free community on Skool with paid upgrades as you need. And we dive into this exact kind of stuff, okay? It's called the Burnout-Proof Community. And again, it's where your nervous system meets your Notion systems. I think of it as a place where we can create sustainable ADHD-friendly systems for high achievers and solopreneurs who want to grow without burning themselves out. I have all sorts of free opportunities in there, as well as paid opportunities that's more like done with you support, so you're not always kind of spinning your wheels all by yourself. If you want a community of ambitious high achievers who get it, if you want to be the first person to hear about new resources, new offerings, new templates, if you want that real-time support as you build your burnout-proof business and life, join us. It's completely free to join, and then you can just upgrade as you want more access to me, more content, more deep dives into my frameworks, and more access to my templates. Okay, I'll drop the link in the description below or the show notes if you're checking this out on the podcast. And with that, my friend, go fix those 3 mistakes and you'll watch as your to-do list takes your chaos and turns it into clarity. If you're on the podcast, do not forget to give us a 5-star rating and review. Give us a follow, all that jazz. If you're on YouTube, if this was helpful, give it a thumbs up. Do not forget to comment, to subscribe. And with that, I will see you next time. Stay relentless, achiever. Bye.